Ready? Play.
So we got Stefanos Tsitsipas playing ATP in round 3 in Rome. Tsitsipas came through against Muller earlier today, 6-4, 7-6, I believe. And Fils beat Griekspoor 2-2. Very comfortable win for Fils against someone that could have proven very tricky. Obviously, head-to-head's 3-0 Fils, but it's 2-0 Fils with a retirement in there as well. So, how do you see this going, Bretta?
Yeah, this is an exciting matchup. One we were really looking forward to. I think it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now, where it was a big quarterfinal in terms of trying to switch up the head-to-head. It's 2-0 to Fils, 3-0 now, given the Stefanos Tsitsipas retirement just after 2 games. He was dealing with back spasms. So definitely a match that we're looking forward to, and especially on the slow clay where you think these conditions are, ideal for Tsitsipas, and today he showed a very strong level. Mueller's no easy feat on the clay. Such a grinder, moves so well, makes you play a lot of balls, and the forehand was firing today. That's his biggest weapon, and when he's dictating with that forehand, he's really difficult to beat. Obviously, right now his health and mindset is something that we've been evaluating in terms of his father kind of being back in the mix a little bit and what's kind of next with his coaching situation. But getting to comfortable conditions and really finishing this clay season strong is important for Steph. But he's going up against an Arthur Fils who's proved himself on the surface now, and essentially on this tour at this point, despite his age. He still has a good amount of experience, and he's playing good tennis. Today it was a very fearless kind of effort against Griekspoor, where Griekspoor has been at the top of the sport, challenging the best guys, and today he made easy work of it. So I think given all of that, I think Steph has a slight edge. I think in terms of serve +1. Kind of getting easier points. But once again, I think there was something that I was excited to see is kind of the backhand exchanges between Fils and Tsitsipas, both really good movers. I feel like Steph doesn't get enough credit for how well he moves behind the baseline. He's able to defend out of both wings really well. And I'm just curious to see how Fils responds to that in terms of, is he going to try and, rush and try and end points earlier, or is he going to continue to be methodical and use, he produces so many RPMs off both wings, but the forehand especially, it's always difficult to deal with. So can he get in that inside out forehand slot and really make Steph work out of the backhand wing?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Steph said after Madrid that this is like one of the first times in his career that he's not trusting his forehand, which is obviously his big weapon. You would say, yeah, definitely stronger than his backhand, his one-hander. And if I don't know what's been going on behind the scenes, whether he trusts that, whether he's feeling good about his forehand now, or whether he's still struggling with his consistency. But if he can get that firing and he can really lock in to this battle with Fils, then I'd still give the edge to Tsitsipas here. Fils has been in such good form, but this year. And when it all clicks for Fils, it looks unreal. Like, it's so good. That week in Hamburg last year. When he beats Zverev in the final and he won 500, and he won another 500 in Tokyo. He's playing. He can play super well, but yeah, I think this is probably our biggest moment to look at Steph as we go into Roland Garros, kind of looking at where his level is going into Grand Slam tennis once again, and whether he can he can be right up there with the big guys. And it's going to be interesting. But I would give the edge to Steph maybe in three. But I feel like this could go either way, sort of like a 55-45 situation.
Totally. And I think one more thing that's interesting to mention about Tsitsipas is that he actually went back to his original frame, the Wilson blade, instead of the Babolat Pure. I know there was a lot of discussion. I think it was the Dubai run. No, I'm not getting that right. Maybe Doha. Whatever. During that little Middle East swing.
No, he did. He won the title in Dubai. Yeah,
Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, there was a lot of question marks about what racket he was using. But, yeah, I mean, it was interesting to kind of hear him after that Musetti loss talk about, like, lacking confidence in certain shots. But, today he came out firing and looked good. So, yeah, I feel like there's reason to, feel good about Tsitsipas in this game right now.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.